Yes, what's good, people? It's TooBizyGaming. We're live, we're direct, and we are in full effect. I've been hammering Monster Hunter Wilds. We've been playing it every Monday over on the stream, getting tons of hunts in with the Discord, talking about different weapons, talking about different sets, and of course, having some fun with all of the fashion options that we've got. Now, in today's video, I wanted to talk about just preparing yourself for something like an Arc-Tempered monster, a la Arc-Tempered Radar that's coming up, and also making yourself just a better hunter overall. Since Zoshia's come out and, you know, the addition of Mizutsune, I've been having some very interesting hunts online, and it kind of led me to this video where I want to talk about how we can better ourselves. Listen, if you're a veteran hunter, maybe skip the video, maybe give it a diss, I don't know. But just for the overall Monster Hunter community, hopefully there's some tips in here that you might find helpful and just something just to level the game up a little bit more. Anyway, without further ado, let's get straight into this. This is mainly one of the reasons why I wanted to make this video. Now, like I mentioned, with Arc-Tempered Radar coming out, it's going to be a bit more of a difficult hunt for, I think, every player. Hopefully it's going to have some new challenges with its move patterns, and maybe some of the move radius is going to be a lot bigger, or it does things faster. It might be more difficult to wound. Who knows? They're just speculations. But I think this is a good opportunity to start to talk about a lot of the things that I have listed today. And kickstarting it is signaling for traps, shoutouts, and endemic life/traps. Now, players ignoring you when you've laid down a trap to get extra DPS, capture the monster, or simply just some breathing room is a tale as old as time. Yes, we love DPS and going full Unga Bunga, but sometimes a rando might want to capture, might just want some breathing room, or I don't know what the reason is, but it's always nice when you lay down a trap just for it to be acknowledged. Mitigating this can be signaling, and if that doesn't work, customizing a shout out to let your team know that there's a little something down for the monster to enjoy. Now, of course, with the addition of Arc-Tempered Radar and, you know, with the 5-star tempered Mizutsune, I noticed that laying down traps for some players to maybe run off, get some heals on, or, you know, even like I mentioned, just to capture it, this is something that is going to come in handy when fighting these Arc-Tempered monsters. You're going to want to get as much DPS out, lay the wounds down, you know, go crazy. But obviously, if your trap gets ignored because everybody's just piling onto the monster, it's just a missed opportunity. Now, something that's a little bit more newer to the franchise is endemic traps. Things like vines and boulders. This is a huge chunk of free DPS, and in most cases, the monster goes directly underneath said trap. Disclaimer: what I've mentioned before doesn't 100% work all of the time, but hopefully what I've mentioned mitigates it a little bit. Now, my next point is something that I've been thinking about quite a lot and discussing it on my stream a fair bit as well, is wounding wisely. Now, when you wound the monster, I don't break the wound straight away. I don't know if this is common knowledge, but I tend to get a little bit of free DPS in, go crazy if I've got Savage Axe, or if I'm using a bow, or if I'm using whatever weapon I'm doing. I tend to squeeze a little bit of DPS out, and then if the monster's going a little bit too crazy, I tend to break the wound then. And then that way it leads to more DPS, and the monster's just moving different. Or obviously if it's trying to fly away, I can just break the wound, get it to come back, shoot a lore pod, whatever the deal is. But I tend to wound now and then break it later. That's just my thought process on wounding. Now listen, there's no correct way to execute your wound addiction, but some hunters may be using a weapon that benefits from breaking a wound more than I might. So like I mentioned, if I'm playing bow, for example, and my teammate is using charge blade, I tend to leave the wounding to them. I know what it's like. Obviously, if you're not going to land a perfect guard, obviously, listen, I sometimes don't do it. If there's a wound, I'll just crack the wound and then that's it. Go crazy with Savage Axe. But if I'm using bow and somebody else I've noticed is using charge blade, let them have it, let them go crazy. Then there's also, like I mentioned, when a monster's running away, rather than playing kiss chase with them, I might pop a wound as they are flying or running off to halt them, whilst a teammate lays down a trap and goes for the cap, or DPS meets the kill mark. Either way, a little strategy with the wounds, considering the extra DPS you do, is always nice. Now this one, I actually can't even believe I have to say this one, but as of late, since I've been doing my SOS hunts and just hunting randomly and joining people's quests and whatnot, I've landed the mount and people have flashed the monster. Like, I was on a radar hunt the other day, and as it's flying around going crazy, somebody flashed the monster out of the sky. He dropped, you know, I stumbled over, and I just kind of froze a little bit. I was just like, what? Please let them out finish, let them ride it out, let them get their free damage off. I don't know what you need to do. Maybe apply some buffs, set up a trap. I don't know what you have to do, but just do not flash it. Again, I could be wrong. Maybe people want to speed up the hunts and go crazy, but I've never flashed when a mount is happening. And I think you just let that rock. And then once the monster drops, you go crazy with your DPS. Following from that one is, please, hunters, bring some life powders, bring some dust of lives, bring some, you know, just bring some items that is going to assist your team. This is the one thing for me that, you know, I've been noticing recently. I don't know, maybe more since doing the Zoshia update and, you know, hunting that monster and farming him and, you know, doing Mizutsune, and, you know, that monster's going crazy and people are, you know, calling it sacred, which in some cases, like, you know, when you fall down and you use the sacred pickup, then you actually get comboed by the monster, when all could have been alleviated if somebody just used a dust of life or a life powder. I'm never really shy with using those items, and I just think obviously as the game progressively gets a bit more difficult, pack some in the loadout, have some just there. It doesn't have to be dust of life, it can be life powder. Keep an eye on your teammates' health bars. This is something that is going to be super beneficial with the more difficult hunts releasing. And of course, if you're going to be doing random SOS hunts, some players might not be as experienced as you, some players might not have their radio wheel set up, or they're not able to heal as quick. And this is always something to bear in mind, that you might be a veteran, but you could also be playing with newbies as well, and just bringing those items could save time and another hunter's life, obviously, which could help you not maximize the carts. Whatever it is, just bring some items that's also going to benefit the team. Because listen, going back to it, I've done some Zoshia hunts and people are just going savage on the monster when other players are, their health is really low, they're suffering. I mean, you must know that Zoshia is going crazy with the fireballs consistently, and all it takes is just a little dust of life just to heal that lance player, or, you know, heal the gunner, whatever it may be, and everybody wins. It's more DPS. Now this one is for, I'd say, more the new players and the new hunters that are, you know, this is their first time getting introduced to a Monster Hunter game. But this is just something I can recommend for now, considering we're still in high rank and it's so easy to get monster parts, and, you know, you have so many different parts where you can craft a full armor set and craft a weapon, or even craft a different weapon that you are not used to. Now is the time to start familiarizing yourself with newer weapons and maybe some of the newest set bonuses as well that can lead to a completely different way of playing. So realistically, this point is what it says on the tin. So you like the sound of the set bonus and you want to try it out. You're theorizing maybe this might work with a weapon that I use, or this benefits my playstyle, or I kind of like that it benefits a specific move that I like using. So let's go ahead and try it out. Between title updates and hunting so much, like I mentioned, you end up with so many materials. Just buy the set, get into training mode and hunt some Chupacabra and test away. 9 times out of 10 it'll work, and if it doesn't, just go back to mixing. Don't forget, Monster Hunter is about trial and error, and if all else fails, you would have saved your OG set anyway, and then it's back to the drawing board. Alternatively, little shameless plug, join up on my Discord. There's quite a few hunters in there, and listen, we like mixing sets. Right now, of course, Gore is just killing it, 4-piece set bonus, but if you want to try something new, have some fun, there's loads of different sets out there, and I'm sure we're all good enough to not get carted. I'm talking about you lot, not me. Like I always mention, I be carting, so yeah, I still need my defense boost. I still need my armor spheres. Now, one that's a little bit more personalized for things like this new art tempered raid out quest that's going to be coming out, and some of the more difficult monsters that we'll be releasing alongside the future title updates. Familiarize yourself with the monster weaknesses. We're in a position where, like I mentioned in the point before, where we can buy all of these different weapons and all of these different armor sets. So why not tailor a specific set that exploits a monster's weakness? So let's take this art tempered raid out quest that's coming up. Of course, the monster's weak to ice, so let's familiarize ourselves with a brand new fresh ice elemental set. Like I said, mess around with some monster parts, some set bonuses, a different weapon that maybe you've been thinking, man, let me try this one out, but I'm not really too sure. Now might be the time. And of course, with other monsters, you may be using the wrong element and the monster is secretly laughing at that choice. You've got your trusty notes to keep you on your A game so you can bring the correct weapon to finish the war quicker. And when it comes to these art tempered hunts, you want to be maximizing your DPS. Similar to the points I made before, using the correct element to exploit that monster's weakness will do exactly that. And lastly, going back to items and inventory, this is something where I think most players should just be doing anyway. Your farm is consistently working in the back. Nata's got the different villages doing their thing, generating might seeds and adamant seeds and flash bugs and all of this stuff. Just bring those items, you know. And of course, with the monsters hitting a lot harder, of course, Capcom want these monsters to near enough one-shot us now. So using a lot of defensive items and DPS items, you know, like your might seeds and your armor skins and stuff like that, just make a specific item loadout where you know that the hunt is going to be quite difficult. So you want to make sure that we are defending ourselves and allowing ourselves to do maximum DPS as much as possible. Bring those adamant seeds, I'm telling you. Bring that power pill as well, because when you are about to get the knockdown and you just want to tick that DPS off just a little bit more, pop that and then start to do your DPS. And of course, we have upgraded our armors to the max that we can at the moment. However, some of the monsters and the moves still manage to one-shot us. So like I said, with things like Adamant Charm, these things will allow you to survive and of course just get back on your sacred, get some heals, and then get straight back into the battle. Now, for a lot of hunters, this isn't anything new. This is just second nature by now. The game, of course, isn't super difficult at the moment, and we are powering through all of these updates. No monsters a challenge, but hopefully there's something that I've said that can be of assistance. Or if there's newer hunters that you are playing with, just slide them the video and say to them, look, there's some handy tips in here. Definitely give these a read through, as you might have been preaching to them for the longest time and they're like, listen, be quiet, you boomer, I don't want to hear it. Show them another boomer and let them know that these tips hopefully can take you from just the average hunter a much better one. However, that's it from me. Listen, once Art Temper Radar's out, we will be streaming it, so head over to the stream, come join us for some hunts. Please protect me once again, and if there's any hunting horn players come through, you're always welcomed. Every other weapon is welcome, but hunting horn players, I say for the majority of the Monster Hunter fans, we need you. But that's it from me. We will see another video real soon. Keep it locked. Let's get some more hunts in. Come through and join up on the Discord, and I will be with you lot very soon. I'm out of here. Peace.